Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. This is Michelle Reads YA, and today I will be giving you my November 2020 wrap up. I did a lot better in the month of November, and I read 9 books, which I am very excited about. I listened to most of them, so that's great. Really love audiobooks, but I did physically read a few, which I am also very excited about. I'm still trying to juggle raising a child and reading a lot of books. So like over a year later, we're doing it. So the first book that I read was In the Shadow of Blackbirds by Kat Winters. I read this for book club. It was our paranormal pick and I did not rate it. And normally I only rate books that I DNF or do not finish. However, I technically finished this one, but I was listening to it, and I was listening to it at a really bad time. I was listening to it during election week, which, nope. So while I was listening to it, I was also on Twitter and just like retweeting up a storm and liking shit and just like did not process that book at all. When election week was over and I like got off of Twitter and was actually listening to the book, I maybe had like 30% left and did not know what was going on, but like was catching up, and I was like, oh wow, I missed all the book. So this is a rare thing where yes, I finished the book, but no, I did not comprehend enough for me to give it like an actual rating. My book club actually really liked this book, so I would like to go back and re-listen to it because from what I heard, it was good. It took place in 1918 during the Spanish flu, so like people were wearing masks and it was very like today, and that was kind of weird. We picked this book over a year ago, so that was kind of creepy, and it also had to do with ghosts, and it was also a mystery, and that's like all I know from what little I listened to and from what book club said. So I actually would really like to re-listen to this and try it again, but no rating for this one. Finished it kinda, comprehended it, no. The next book that I read was Lock and Key Volume 4, Keys to the Kingdom by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. So this was probably my least favorite one so far, and I gave it 3 stars. And I think my problem with this one is that it veered so far away from the TV show. Like nothing that I was reading in the graphic novel happened in the TV show, and my brain was like, what's going on? Also, I just felt like this was so slow. It seriously took me, it's like a 50-page graphic novel, and it took me so long to read it, and that has to do with my slump, and also that just like I really didn't like this one. So I ended up giving it 3 stars. I'm looking at other people's reviews and they kind of feel the same way as me, so that makes me feel good. But all in all, I am continuing on with this graphic novel series. Really like it. I have one more on hold. The next book that I listened to is All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, and I gave this 4 stars. I really like this one. I knew going in there it was a memoir, and I am really starting to get into memoirs, especially this year, especially after Chanel Miller's memoir just blew me away. And this was one that I really liked. Gave it 4 stars. Thought it was beautiful. It was read by the author, which I really liked, and I just liked how it touched on so many different things. It touched on his sexuality and his blackness and just like real world stuff, and I'm pretty sure he wrote this when he was 33, so like all the shit that he talked about, you know, he still has so much life left to live. So I hope he writes another one. I just thought this was really good. This is one I would definitely go back to and reread, so I'm really glad I read it. I really liked it. Trigger warnings though, for there is rape, so I would be wary of that. The next graphic novel that I read was Lock and Key Volume 5, Clockwork by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. This was so good. I can't remember what I gave it. Hold on. I gave it 4 stars. Probably now I would give it 4.5 stars. This was definitely my favorite one of all the graphic novels so far. This one goes back in time and we get a lot more context of what has happened up to this point, and it was so good. This one veered away from the TV show as well, but I did not care about that because I was just really into this one. So good, definitely my favorite. I've been on hold for the last one for so long, and after this one I just want to finish it because it was so good. This one was definitely my favorite. Just so much backstory. I loved it. It was very good. The next book that I listened to was This Is My America by Kim Johnson. I gave this 4 stars. I really like this. I liked the audiobook. I liked the story. I loved it. So the main character, Tracy Beaumont, her father is in prison and she writes to innocent ex every week for them to try to take his case because he's innocent. And then it's also the story of her brother, who is also accused of a crime that he did not commit, and it actually surprised me and turned into a mystery, and I was not expecting that at all. I was just expecting her to like relive what happened to her father, and then, you know, her brother was accused, and it turned into a mystery, which I did not see coming, and I really liked. I gave this 4 stars. I definitely recommend it. It had to do with race and privilege and the broken jail system and just everything. I really enjoyed this. The audiobook was great. I suggest the audiobook as well. The next book that I listened to was The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa, and I did not like this. I gave it 2.5 stars. Probably, now that I'm thinking of it, 2 stars. I listened to this because my book club said that they really liked it. I did not like it. And I don't think it's their fault. I don't like adult romance. And I thought that I did, and I have a ton of adult romance on my shelves, and I just don't like adult romance. So yeah, there were a lot of smut scenes, but I did not enjoy them. Like, I thought they were not good, if that's helpful. Also, if like the characters in the book aren't having sex by like 30% in, I don't care. So yeah, 2 stars probably. The next book that I read physically was an arc of She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quinlan. This was cute. I only ended up giving it 3 stars because it wasn't like the best thing I ever read. I wanted to love it because it was female romance. It's a female romance where they are enemies to lovers, and it's also fake dating. So there were like 2 of my favorite tropes. Also, there was a, oh no, there's only one bed situation. Like, a lot of really good things were happening in this book, but it just was still okay. It was like a little campy and a little cheesy, which like in my old age, I like don't really care about cheesy. So I gave it 3 stars. I definitely recommend it if you like cheesy female romance and YA. Yeah. The next book that I listened to was Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. I listened to this because I watched the series on Netflix and absolutely loved the series on Netflix. It's like 8 episodes. It's super fast. It's super cute. I'll probably rewatch it before Christmas. Anyway, I have seen this book 1.5 billion times at my library and just like never cared about it. And so after I watched the series, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna read the book now. It was okay. Once again, gave it 3 stars. I liked the series better than the book, which is rare for me, but I just felt like the series was like so magical and like cute and like really, I don't know, like it gave me the warm and fuzzies, and the book didn't really give me that. I don't know why. I thought the audiobook was really good. They changed a lot of stuff at the end, which I didn't really like, and I think that's probably why I only gave it 3 stars. I do really suggest, if you have Netflix, to watch the series because that was cute, and I will not be continuing on with this series reading it. So that's how I feel about that. And the last short story that I read as an ARC is called The Houseplant by Jeremy Ray. I was asked to read this ARC and give a review, and I had never heard of this author before. This was just like, hey, do you want to read this? And I was like, okay, sure. It's a short story about a houseplant, and I was like, okay. But no. It took me maybe 20 minutes to read, and I absolutely loved it. I am not like a houseplant. I'm not a plant mom. Like, I had a succulent and I just killed it. So, like, no, I just have to keep my actual baby and cats alive. That's good. But I absolutely love this short story. I ended up giving it 5 stars. I feel like it may have gotten me out of my reading slump because it was just like so cute, so short, and I just really loved it. I'm not even kidding. I love this little short story. Ended up giving it 5 stars. So thank you for getting me out of my reading slump. I really liked it. So that is everything that I read in November. I definitely had a much better reading month than October. So I feel like I am slowly but surely eking my way out of this reading slump. I'm definitely doing better than I was when I was pregnant with Rowan. Like, I'm able to like feel more motivated to read. I'm reading. For some reason, I can't read physical books. Like, I can't sit down and read, but I'm always on my phone because I'm an awful person. So I am reading books on my phone and then listening to audiobooks while he's napping. So it's working out. We're doing it. That's it. Thanks for watching my video. See you in my next one. Bye!